How many old, defunct, second-hand or perhaps spare cell phones do you have lying around the house? Or TVs for that matter? You might have just got rid of the old tube telly in favour of one of the flash flat screens. Then, of course, there are all those out-of-date and discarded computers. Look, take a moment and just tally up your personal electronic waste pile. Now, here's the question. If you had to get rid of your e-junk tomorrow, where would you take it? As John Selwood reports, most of it is still ending up at the dump along with all the poisonous residues. But that could be about to change and you'll be wearing the cost.
When it comes to consumer electronics, what you bought yesterday can seem old almost before it's new. How often do you see a new electronic gadget launched, the release of an upgrade or an improved version? The arrival of the next best thing, the rush for the latest and greatest, has reached an almost frenetic pace. Buying is one thing, disposing of the waste quite another. Now, this may look like a reasonably large pile of old cell phones we've got here, apparently around 800 kgs in this box. But really, this is just a drop in the bucket compared with what is out there. Apparently, estimates put it as high as 1 million second-hand used cell phones lying around in New Zealand homes. So what's going to happen to the old phones? Will consumers recycle or simply dump them? Well, you can pretty much bet most will eventually end up in a landfill. Not convinced? Well, take 100 avid cell phone users and ask the question. Hands up, please, those who have cell phones. Right, that's everyone. Hands up still if you have more than one cell phone. Doesn't matter, old, defunct, more than one cell phone. That is the vast majority of you. Hands up those who have put a cell phone or would put a cell phone in a recycling bin and would know where to do that. See, there's the problem. Big business knows only too well that being environmentally, or if you like, socially responsible is pretty much a commercial imperative these days. And both Telecom and Vodafone run recycling schemes.
I think the numbers haven't been as great as we had hoped. We've still recycled 207 tonnes of materials, of handsets, modems and mobile devices.
Last year we had a target of 75,000 handsets, which we think's a good target. About 10% of the handsets we bring to New Zealand a year. Sadly, we only managed to collect 40,000.
OK, let's be fair. The phone companies are at least taking a lead. But their voluntary recycling schemes are hardly a roaring success at the moment. And it's not any better with the big-ticket items like TVs. How much, in terms of the old TV sets, the old computer screens, is still just going straight into the tip?
Oh, 99.9%.
That is poisonous if it goes into the ground.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is hazardous to human health.
RCN run the country's only recycling plant for the older style tube tellies. But they're only getting a sniff of what's actually out there. We're talking hundreds of thousands.
No, we're probably talking 1.5 million.
1.5 million. And that's only in Auckland. The estimates are there could be up to 10 million screens waiting to be dumped across New Zealand. Hands up, please, if you have one of the new flat-screen television sets at home. OK, keep your hand up if you have the older tube TVs at home. Keep your hands up again if you know what to do, how to dispose of those old TVs. About one out of 100.
A lot of people don't know where to take it. Do they leave it out on the curbside? Can they take it to the tip? The problem, of course, is that these things don't fit in the rubbish bin, and therefore somebody has to proactively do something, and people don't know what to do.
Which is one reason why Noel Leeming, the country's largest electronics retailer, is publicly supporting the waste minimisation bill currently before Parliament. The bill will require industries to come up with recycling or safe disposal schemes, which means an extra cost to manufacturers and importers, which will then be passed on to retailers and, of course, in the end to consumers. It's the ultimate expression of polluter pays.
We would estimate that it's around $25. It could be $50 on some items. That's not agreed yet.
Would you pay more money?
Of course I would, because I know it's good for nature, and as we're going closer to global warming, we need as much as we could possibly recycle.
Okay. Would you pay more money?
Yes, I would. It's helping the environment.
So these consumers at least seem happy to pay. But that in itself doesn't mean much unless you actually return your e-waste for recycling.
Well, I think there's kind of a responsibility to be taught the kind of ways to recycle things, but then people have their own responsibility to actually do it.
But if at every landfill or place there is a place where you can actually drop your appliance off, then I think very quickly people will get quite used to dropping the appliances over there and the garbage over there.
And that's a call that can't be regulated. It's a matter of individual responsibility.
Now, if you want to know about some of the recycling options currently available in New Zealand for electronics and whiteware, look, you can go to that website there. We've also got the link, of course, on our own website.